Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the JARC, the Novice Racer Porsche 911 Championship, Round 5 from the Autódromo Hermanos Rodríguez Grand Prix circuit, or as you probably known it, Mexico City. I'm James Parfitt, going to be joined in the booth by Olaf Wapsenkamp, who's going to come along for the ride once more here at this 2.674 mile circuit, 4.304 kilometers, and in the championships it's going to get very, very interesting indeed. Calvin Leideckers is out in front by 1 point over Jack Ashton. Big news, Jack's off on his hollybobs this week, so he is not here. In the Pro-Ams, it's George Metacost. He's leading Tom Weston by 15 points, and then we've got Kaysen Collier leading the AMs. He's leading by 17 points over Parker Enquist. It's going to be very, very interesting indeed here, so let's see what goes on once again. Let's bring Olaf into the box. We're just into the throes of qualifying at the moment before we can get this up and running. 3.5 minutes, double races on the board. Invert second race. That's going to be very interesting indeed. But Olaf, welcome in, bud. How are you once more?
I am very happy to be back after missing the last race 2 weeks ago. Very happy to be at this track, of course, because this is, I think, one of my favorite tracks that's just not being driven enough in these cars.
Yeah, I do agree. I don't actually mind this circuit. Like, this circuit for me it's kind of one of them Marmites where it's either going to be really good for people or people are not going to love it. Now, sitting here during practice, I've been in practice for about 45 minutes. There's been a few little bit of dramas, a little bit of an off track. The curbs have been a little bit of a problem for some people. There's been a couple of people going round as well. Mainly coming in after Hoquila, which is, I think it's like, what's that, turn 5 or 6 or something, the hairpin at the bottom of the right-hand corner of the track map. Coming through there seems to be a little bit tricky for some.
Yeah, I think that is going to be one of the parts. Of course, going to get some big braking zones coming up right here. Turn 1 is a very big braking zone into a nice little chicane. I think we're going to see some good side-by-side action here. Either that or a complete overtake before we even hit the first turn. Lots of curves being taken. Track limits here on the exit as well, as shown properly by Andy Pratt. There's going to be one thing to focus on, and then the next big braking zone. If you don't make the overtake in turn 1, you can make it right over here, and this is the part where you were talking about. Nice little chicane here, a little bit slower than the first chicane. You got to turn a little bit more for the first one and the second one. And then there's the hairpin before we get to the S's. And I think the S's, this is basically a hairpin, 2 turns in 1. The S's that were coming up now, side-by-side action here is going to provide a crash. 100% guaranteed. I can tell you this already. This is going to be the drama zone once there's side-by-side action. Following through this pretty easily. You go fast enough so the aero wash doesn't really affect you too much. But side-by-side, there's going to be contact.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see the amount of curbs that Andy Pratt's taking at this moment in time. He is taking a bucket load. Off tracks might be a problem. I'm sure some of these will end up going into the box. I'd be very surprised if they can do it in 20 minutes, but you never know. After a couple of contacts and a few off tracks, they do rack up rather quickly. We're in the stadium section with Andy Pratt now as well. The last corner's also been a problem. Some people putting the power down a little bit early. Back end's coming round. I did watch earlier on, I think Reece Bartlett did it as well. There was a couple of others that come around that final corner too much on the throttle, and the back end's come round. It seems to be that this circuit could cause quite a lot of drama.
Yeah, what I'm looking at here is Pratt before the final corner. You see him completely opening up all the way over the curbs. He's even put his, I think, all of the tires, I wasn't going to say feet, but all of the tires on the blue stuff on the left-hand side completely over the curbs. If that's in, I'm not sure. Maybe he's just setting up for the next lap, which would be a little bit illegal anyway. Unsure where the track limits are, if they're at the wide line or the edge of the curbs, or even further than that, because I haven't driven it in iRacing at all. But I think the track limits are going to be... I mean, we've seen a lot of black flags happen before in the 20-minute races. I think at Solomar we had a few. Round 1, I forgot the track. Round 1 we had, if I'm looking back at it,
Hockenheim.
I still have it. Hockenheim. I think in Hockenheim we did also have some of the black flags coming in. So not ruling it out yet, but it is going to be... here we have him again, all the way across the lines. And no, that's way off. That was way too far.
He got that completely wrong.
But he did go completely over the line, yeah. So that was an interesting one. I think that's something to look out for in the race as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You can have a look at the schedule. We've got one more round to go on the 22nd of March. It is Zolder to join us for that one in 2 weeks' time. But it's going to be very, very exciting, I'm sure, indeed. Let's bring you up the grid. Mark Calver's back this week. He's taken pole position along with Calvin Leideckers in second, Andy Brett in third. Jan Janchik leads the Pro-Ams with Ian Nicholas Anderson in fifth place. Kaysen Collier leads the AMs. Great job from him, up in sixth. Bardas Vasivius in seventh, then Thomas Weston eighth, then Hayden Britton, George Metakos, Josh Taylor and Garrett Kinney round out the top 12. Moving on is Roman Kopostarinsky in 13th, then Nick Green, Eric Orchin, Parker Enquist, Reese Bartlett, Martin Hayward and Timmy Wybrow at the bottom there as well. It does look like we're going to get a full pace lap this time around as well before we get that rolling start up and running and before we get the race going. But it does give us a brief couple of minutes to decide who's going to take the victory. Where do we think it's going to be? Calvin Leideckers, Mark Calver, Andy Pratt, I think are going to be very, very close. Jan Janchik, if he can stay out of trouble in the first lap, might have enough to go over Ian Anderson. And Kaysen Collier is looking strong in the AM, sitting in sixth overall.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a fight here. The fact that Ashton's not here, I think is going to loosen up the front a little bit. It gives room for Calver because Leideckers and Ashton were the ones fighting all across the season so far. Which started in I don't know, it was Lessa and Ashton in Hockenheim. After that, Leideckers has taken on the torch that Lessa's just held for round one. I think Calver's going to make his life a lot more difficult. From the way that Pratt's been driving, he's got the wheels all the way off the car. At some point, he's going to be absolutely fighting for his life. And I do have to say, James, I'm really liking the pronunciations today. It's going very, very well. You've improved.
Thank you very much.
You have been studying. It does show. I think Collier...
Oh, a wonderful thing.
I think Collier all the way into sixth in the AMs. I think that's fantastic work from him as well. Currently having 8th place overall. This is overall, by the way. He's leading the AMs. He's 8th place overall, getting into the top 6 as an AM car, beating basically all the Pro AMs almost. It's really, really good showing from Kaysen Collier. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, you see these guys weaving this time around on the pace lap. The weaving apparently now does something. So that's always good. Where before, if anybody remembers, what was it, about a year ago or a year and a half ago, people were discussing whether or not weaving actually does something, and it was deemed that it doesn't do anything. But after a couple of updates from iRacing, weaving now does what it does on there and heats the tyres apparently as well. Please don't tell me any F1 spoilers. I have not watched it. It is on my list for this afternoon to go and sit and chill and watch it. So please do not put any F1 spoilers in the chat because I do not know what's gone on at all.
I will tell you, James, the F1 race is worth watching. It's the first thing I did when I woke up this morning. I was laying in bed. I was like, I can just doom scroll on TikTok for a moment, but I can also just go downstairs and watch the Formula 1 Grand Prix because I had not seen any spoilers either. So I watched it. Start to finish, it's not a sleeper. It's a banger. You should definitely go and watch it. It's got some interesting things going on. So I won't spoil anything either. It's a good thing that you mentioned that because I might have referred to the F1 race today, but I won't. I'll keep my mouth shut.
Yes, please, if you don't mind. This is the only time I want you to be quiet. Okay, not about the racing, just about the Formula 1, and that goes for everybody. I'm actually going to put that message in chat as well because somebody's going to jump in and go, "Did you see the Formula 1 today?" I'm like, "No, stop it." So I'm going to put that in chat so we don't have any F1 spoilers whatsoever. That would be really nice because, as I say, it's on my agenda after this as well. I've had a lazy morning this morning, but now the wife's gone out shopping and that's always deemed that she's going to be absolutely ages. So I might actually get time to sit and watch it. I've got a couple of other things to do as well today, so that's going to be interesting. Right, ladies and gentlemen, pace car's going to peel in now as well. How is this going to work currently at the moment? Mark Calver sat at the front of the queue. He's holding them all the way down here. I think he's going to get it all the way down to the line. He's going to have to go shortly. That was the finishing line, mind you, not the start line. Start line's coming up now. Calver's gone. We are green on that run down into turn number 1. right now. We're on that long straightaway at this moment in time. Anything can happen here. What is going to happen? You can see that 3 and 4 wide, almost in the background. Pratt, Leideckers, Jančić, all there at the same time. Nicholas Anderson battling away into turn 1 we go. Carver takes the whole shot. Leideckers holds on to second. Pratt is going to manage just about. Is he going to hold on to third away from Jančić? But a great start from all of them. But 3 and 4 wide going into turn 1. That don't deem well.
Yeah, it's a good holding there from Jančić, currently side by side with Andy Pratt. Does have the inside line, will potentially take the position here into the next braking zone. If he can stay ahead, of course, that is. Jančić through, Pratt still on the inside, does take the curb, and looks like Jančić's through.
He got through around the outside there. Great job. Action further back as well. Drama for Kaysen Collier. He has not had a good start after singing his praises here as well. But there was some form of drama for Kaysen Collier. We'll have a look back and see what he got himself into. He's on the inside in that yellow and blue machine. Did he make any mistake? Oh, he just, all of a sudden, everybody, I think, just checks up. Did he get off the line here? No. Oh! There was contact there. Unfortunately, it looks like a little bit of a checkup on the pace lap. And Kaysen Collier is all the way down in 12th place. Did not go well right at the beginning for poor Kaysen Collier. Timmy Wybrow's had some drama. We've got to slow down for Hayden Britton as well. Weston and Nicholas Anderson running side by side. This seems to be bringing a lot of action early on here, and we've still got 18 minutes to go.
Yeah, that's a very nice send there from Andy Pratt, just in the front of the view. He's now disappeared right in front of Jančić. He's going to be lining up for turn 1. A nice send to hold it on the left-hander and then take it on the right into the stadium section. Jančić now having to fight for that third place again, trying to get up to the podiums. And I believe he can get there. One of the Pro-Ams has to be on the podiums today. We, of course, have that reverse grid for the second race, the second 20 minutes. Slipstream being very, very strong here going into turn 1.
Yeah, he's going to make a move on the inside. Is he? No, he's going to be stuck on the outside. Jančić can't get through. Pratt runs it in. He has managed to hold on to that position. Pratt in the all white with a black stripe at the bottom there as well. Jančić in the green and orange flames almost, looking like that battle's taking shape very, very nicely. Then we've got Valdez in behind. We've got Weston and we've got Nicholas Anderson. These guys battling it out at the same time. Weston's trying to hold on from Valdez. He's got to give him room. Going into the left right of Essi Delago. Through the right hander he goes. Weston's still got the inside run now as well into Hoquila, and at the moment Weston still managed to hold on, but Vancivius tucked in right behind him at the moment here. Metakos in behind that as well. Big action going on. There's more action further back with Enquist and Garrett Kinney and Kobustarinsky and Hayden Britton. They're all fighting out. Kaysen Collier's in the mix. There's a lot of things happening all the way through this. One of the things we are sure of at the moment, Olaf, is that Mark is out front. Carver's running away with it, and he's got about a second gap at the moment.
Yeah, Leideckers is quite close. Pratt's been fighting with Jančić, Anderson closing in as well, and with Weston just trailing a little bit behind. That's going to be the fight for P3. The top two are going to be loose by about 3.5 seconds now. And I'm looking at the standings. Medicals, Weston and Nick Green are going to be in a fight. Weston currently 6th, Medicals 8th, and then Green 9th. So Medicals has some work to do to defend his position in the championship. Overall 5th, which I think is really, really strong. Considering all the pros that we've been seeing, and a little bit of a lock-up and a slide there that we're seeing, and we might see an overtake going into turn 1.
A couple of Starinsky's already got through here. There's going to be running this almost 2 and 3 wide, I think. Going down here, Kobustarinsky, Garrett Kinney and Parker Enquist. Parker's tucked in behind Kinney. Is he going to look at making that move down into turn 1? He's tucked in right behind him. He's almost bumped drafting him NASCAR style. Enquist now pulls out. He pulls away from Kinney. Kinney goes and sends it up the inside. There's no room at the end, but he is offline. That's going to give Enquist a run into turn number 2. No, Kinney comes back at him once more. Swapping places. I really did think Parker would have had that, but he just couldn't quite get enough run on the second part.
Yeah, I think he's just opted for the better exit out of the third turn, which does mean he gets ahead now, ahead of Kinney. That is a very nice job. Stays around the outside, leaves the inside open, and that is a door waiting to be shut. And does it a little bit too late. Gets a hold of the position, the outside still being wide open, the next one being 2 double right-handers. Should have the inside line completely clean there for Enquist. I think his decision there was just keep the exit straight out of turn 3. There's going to be another big braking zone coming in. I need to be ahead there, and he was completely. So Enquist, with a nice decision there in the first chicane, now has to hold it through the S's.
Is he going to be able to hold this now as well? Kinney's going to look at coming back out around the outside of him. Enquist manages to keep the room, but Sivius and also Weston have also just swapped places. Weston's coming back. I believe there may have been an off track there. because Western come from a long way on the right-hand side. Don't get me wrong, they have not got much room going into this stadium section, but he seems to have had enough there, and Van Sivius cannot get past Western at the moment, but he has got Medicos for company. That's going to be interesting. Nick Green's got Case and Collier. Collier now back at the front of the AMs again after Joshy Taylor's had some drama. Timmy Wybrow's also had some drama as well. So there's a couple of people who have had problems, but Vencivius at the moment tucked in behind Western on that run down into turn one. Western comes to the left, slightly defensive, sends Vencivius around the outside. Is he going to be able to make this work? Western's got to send him in deep here. He can't hold on into two. Vencivius got the job done through three. No real dramas there from Valdes. Vencivius got the job done around the outside of one.
And looking further back as well. This is a very nice battle going on. Still not done yet. I think Weston's trying to make a look here on the outside. And he's just been pushed a little bit. Oh, there's a send towards the inside. He has his nose in, but doesn't get far along enough. Which means he has to stay behind. Looking back a little bit, Nick Green in 9th with Case and Collier in 10th. They are getting close as well. And this is for a good amount of points, as Collier is currently 8th and Nick Green is in 9th overall in the standings. So that is going to be a fight for some position in the standings. Even more so because the difference is only 5 points.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got Enquist, Kinney, Bartlett, Orchard and Taylor. They're having a right little bit of a fisticuff down the bottom end here. You can see Taylor there sat in behind Bartlett and Orchard. Orchard's just cleared Bartlett. Bartlett's trying to go up the inside, can't get the job done. Taylor's trying to come round. He's the pro-am in all of this fight as well. He's the one in green. You can see Weston and Vencivius still swapping around in positions. Vencivius has managed to get through and take that position away. So we'll keep an eye on and see what goes on there. But at the moment, it's Joshy Taylor chasing down Orchin in through the right hand of Rado Davaro before he goes on to the long left of Foro Sol. It's almost right back on yourself here, almost coming back. Then it's to try and get it to the right. You can clearly use the off track there, Olaf, because they are very, very wide coming out of Foro Sol.
Yeah, and it's not just Andy Pratt doing it, it's everyone doing it, which leads me to think that that is indeed a little bit of track limit that the game has not put out very nicely. I think the wide line should be the wide line, but yeah, I mean, setting yourself up for a good exit out of the final turn is obviously something that you want to do. We see Wybrow being out of the race, and one thing that I am going to be looking at is Van Savicius going up against the Pro-Ams. Currently in 6th, has Jančík ahead of him. That's 4 seconds he needs to gain. As you see, Taylor absolutely sending it in Orchin, who does hold on to it for the first turn, for the second turn, but I think it's going to be over for the third turn unless he makes this exit worthwhile. He does.
Yeah, he
for
does.
now.
And we're running side by side now down into Esse de Lago. Who's going to come out on top here? Taylor and Orchin side by side. Bartlett sat in behind at the moment. We'll have a look back at Timmy Wybrow 2 seconds after this battle has petered out. Taylor does manage to get through. Orchin sits in back. Bartlett sits there watching. Whatever happened to Wybrow? Well, whatever it was, it sent him straight back into pit lane. Parker Enquist has also had some drama. He's dropped all the way down to the back end. I think Wybrow's had enough. I think he has had enough today. And Timmy Wybrow just says, nope, no more. But this is what's happened to Parker Enquist as well. What's he done? The drama coming off from Parker at the moment. Oh, you're going to go round, son. There you go.
Oh, there it is. Just a little bit too much of the curb, unsettling the car. It's going to send you way back to the back of the grid.
Unfortunately for him, absolutely. Western still tucked in behind Van Sivius at the moment, as they're going to be running down into one. Medicos dropping back a little bit further from them at the moment. It's about a second back at the moment. We've got 11 minutes to go. Carver's out in front. Lydakis is in second at the moment. Big gap over Andy Pratt, about 5.5 seconds. But Western's pulled out once more going into turn number 1. Wow, that was easy.
I think he just made it look easy. That was I was going to be ready here for an intense commentary from your end to have a fight between the first chicane leading up all the way to the second one, and it was over before turn 1 even happened. So that was a good slipstream being taken there from Weston, getting ahead of the Pro.
Yeah, didn't really do a lot. So no, on that one, a bit anticlimaxical for us all there as they were running side by side in through the right hander. Now they've got another right to deal with here. And is Van Sivius be able to get through? He cannot get through at the moment. Medicos still sat there. Green's got about half a second to Case and Collier. Britain's got a second to Collier. He's got about 4.7 to Kobostarinsky. Garrett Kinney's got a gap. Taylor still can't drop off Orchin on Bartlett. They're about a second back at the moment. Western, though, is the one under pressure, and he's under pressure big. He's got a pro tucked in behind him, and not just any sort of pro. He's got Valdez tucked in there as well. How is he going to be able to deal with this? Well, this is helping here. If Orchard can put Valdez under pressure, Western can escape.
Well, this is Medicals that we're looking at right now. He has been performing very well for the previous rounds, and he's showing it again today. Currently 8th, a little bit below from where he wants to be probably, but still, fighting with the pros is something that he does very, very nicely. Janček's been dropped down to 5th with Anderson up to 4th, who has a 3-second gap to Brandt, who's got a 6-second gap to Leidiggers. And then the front two are just separated by 2 seconds, which I think means that Calver for the next 10 minutes is just going to hold out and get the victory.
Taylor's done that.
Yikes.
Unfortunately, done all the hard work, and now, unfortunately, he's dropped down the order. Taylor's all the way down in 18th. Britton and Collier, they're 2 AMs battling it out here as well. Kaysen just lost that position to Hayden Britton. Britton's managed to keep it and now taking the lead in the AMs. This is going to be an interesting fight for these guys. Of course, for Hayden Britton, is not really in the championship. Collier still out in front. There is about nearly 80 points, I believe, 79 points between Kaysen Collier and Hayden Britton. Western's just got himself a slowdown and an off track at the same time. Did he manage to come back though? That's the question. Or has he gone off onto yonder? And he's going to go round. He's going to go round.
That looked very unfortunate. It looked like he was going to slow down in the middle of the chicane to hold up the guys behind, which I want to say is smart, but it's also very dirty. And this is what he gets out of it, down to P11. It's a tactic, not one that I would recommend to anyone doing. But if you can justify it by, hey, it's in a chicane, it's in a corner, you can't overtake here anyway, I'm just going to slow down my pace here and hold everyone up. It's a tactic, it's not honorable, and this is what he gets from it. So, karma?
Yeah.
Is that what we're going to call it?
Maybe on that one. So, yeah. Well, what can he do? He's just got to come back and try and crack on with it again as Mr. Western. But let's see how this one pans out against these guys at the moment. Hayden Britton, Kaysen Collier battling it out in the AMs. You can see they're the only class that's close together at the moment on the racetrack. We've got Vancivius and Medicos, but they are different classes out here battling this one. So this is the only class battle that's going to make a difference here, Olaf. Let's see what goes on once more.
Yeah, we're looking at different battles, and the only battle that we're seeing, like you said, is this is the AM battle for the lead. It's Hayden Britton and Kaysen Collier for the lead of the AMs, as Weston's got himself another slowdown there. The AMs are having battles amongst themselves, and the Pro-AMs and the Pros with a little bit of the AMs are fighting with each other inter-class, but the AMs really is the only one with the competition in its own class.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That leads me to think, though, there's only 4 pros on the track currently. Vancevic is a little bit further down in the overall standings. The top 3 is currently the top 3. They've got quite a little bit of a gap for the pros, with Calver, Leidiggers and Pratt all separated in total by about 10 seconds, which I think is a lot for a top 3.
Yeah, absolutely. But these guys will continue to fight this one out, I'm sure. Don't forget, it's an inverted all. Everybody's going to invert, and at the moment, Jossie Taylor, well, depends if Timmy Wybrook comes back for race number 2, he will be on pole, or it's going to be Taylor who will be on pole position. So we'll find out which one this is going to be, but this battle is still looming here with Kaysen Collier and Hayden Britton. Britton's opened up, I would say a gap, but I don't really feel 6 tenths is a gap here. We'll find out how these ones go and see what goes on once more. But this is going to be a very interesting fight for the next 5 minutes.
And I'm also looking at Medicos, because Vancevicius is currently in 6th, but he's going to lose it if he goes on like this, because Medicos is closing in, creeping in. We see them just in front of this battle on the bottom of our screen there. Medicos within half a second now to P6. That's going to be a pro getting overtaken by a Pro-Am, who is, I think, showing more skills than a pro at some point, and has been throughout this season. And Anderson and Janček being ahead of that even is a statement on its own. If you look at the minimap on the top right hand side of your screen, is number 1 and number 2 going through the S's now. Number 3 is Andy Pratt entering the section now. Anderson, Janček, the green 4 and 5, and then way back in the hairpin now we have P6. So the gaps between the drivers are getting bigger and bigger. Of course, that's not going to matter once we have race 2 in about 5 minutes time, where we have the full reverse grid. They're just going to be reversed and the gaps will be neutralized. But this is I think this is a testament to everyone's skill and everyone's showing here today, that the gaps are just so big on this specific track. And there might have been some incidents. Yes, of course there have been. But look at Weston. He was part of an incident, spun around sideways, currently still 11th and not even dead last. So it is still quite close, but it's so spread out.
Yeah, absolutely. But it is the AMs that are providing the action at the front at the moment. We've got pros, then pro-ams that are pro-ams, and it's the AMs at the bottom that are giving us the action. 4 minutes 20, I want to say, on the clock. 1:41. There's Nick Green has just gone round, and there was further contact after that. Here we go.
I think we've gone a little bit on commentators' curse, because I was just mentioning the fight with Medicals, Weston and Nick Green, and was that his own doing?
Weston gave him a whack.
Well, luckily his front bumper teleports and he gets it back, but
I think the problem was it does look like he was already sliding. See, he's over the curb.
There it is. There's the slide.
Is. Yeah, you can see the tire tracks there.
He was trying to save it though, which is very difficult. Once you lose it, it's very difficult to keep it or to hold it. But I think one driver very happy with this is going to be Medicals, because Weston and Green both are going to be in the pits as it stands and dropping down the order all the way down to that's 17th and 18th, and Medicals sitting in 9th very, very prettily.
Yeah, you can see overall 7th and 8th for Britton and Collier. Medicost in 9th, Kobastrinsky in 10th. He's got Kinney now. That's going to put Weston on pole position for race number 2. Silver linings and all that, hopefully, for him. Well, we'll see what goes on here currently at this moment in time. And these guys continue to fight out in the AMS. 2.5 minutes to go. Carver's just gone over the start-finish line. We're going to get one and one more here. He's crossed the line at 2:54. He's out in front by 3 seconds, mate. He's just dominated this in general.
Yeah, taking it from pole position, holding it so long at the start, then going and holding it. This has been domination plus from Mark Calver here. Leidecker is not too far off. At 3 minutes over the course of, what is this, about 10 laps that we've been doing?
Yeah.
It's going to be about 3/10 a lap off, which is a lot, but it's also quite close still, because if you stay within 3/10 every single time, you're going to have that slipstream. You're going to duck into it. But what Calver has done, he's just broken the slipstream, broken any ability from Leideckers to catch up with him with that few tenths advantage that he has, or disadvantage, just able to catch up with the slipstream. He's just completely negated that by just gaining that second and then pushing on. And now the gap's about 3 seconds. Slow down for Medicals, who's going to be very mad about that one. But Calver domination, 100%.
Absolutely. Casey Collier now still there. Medicals still tucked in behind him. Hayden Britton still in behind that. Let's see how they go through the left and then on through the right-hander. It's still these two battling it out for the lead. The leader is coming round the last couple of corners. He will take the white flag this time around. Mark Calver here. Casey Collier has got a decision to make over the final lap here, Olaf. Does he stay in where he is, or does he go for the send at the end?
I mean, he has to go for it, right? He has to. I mean, Medicals has gone further back. He's had to slow down, which means that the gap is about 2 seconds now. Collier now within 2/10. Is he sending it now? He is getting quite close looking at the standings. Britain is under fire here. Like I said, this is the S's. You don't want to go side by side here. He's going to be entering the stadium section. Yeah, I mean, with how close he is now, he's going to have a good run through this. If only he's got a good exit out of the final corner, he can 100% send it into turn 1. And then he also has turn 4, I believe, after this, on the second chicane. I think he can definitely go for a send here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, let's see how Britain gets on. Is he going to be able to hold on to that position away from Casey Collier? Calver's coming in through Huquila, the bottom right-hand corner hairpin. Just see that number 1 yellow, but it is going to be this battle until the leader gets near the last corner. We'll keep track of what's going to happen here as well, as he's going to run down into turn number 1. Britain still holding on to that AM lead. Casey Collier still tucked in behind him. It's going to be trying to get a run here from Collier coming out of turn number 3. Now it's a run down into 4. Is he going to make that inside line work? Can Casey Collier get this on the final lap, Olaf?
I mean, the gap is just a little bit bigger than what it was on the end of the previous lap. He's going to make it happen within, I think at the end of the S's there, he's going to have to follow him through completely, get the slipstream going. And that's a small mistake there from Britain, which is going to put Collier a little bit closer. On exit, he might be able to catch a few tenths, but I don't think it's possible. I think it's over.
Yeah, Carver comes around the final corner here. He's going to take that victory here once more in race number 1. Mark Carver gets the job done, takes the win by about 4.5 seconds over Calvin Leideckers. Ian Nicholas Anderson looks like he's going to wrap the win up in the Pro-Ams. He's going to come over the line there as well. New to the series, I think, this week, and takes the victory on his maiden journey. Hayden Britton and Kaysen Collier, they are going to be right close together. There's literally 2 more corners to go. Britton's gone in deep. That's going to allow Collier to come up the inside, is he? Britton's on the defense, dives for the apex. He's got to put it run. He's got to run wide. He did nearly almost hit the wall, but Hayden Britton holds on. Kaysen Collier comes over the line. It is Britton, it is Collier, but Britton nearly threw that away.
Yeah, that was very close. I was looking at it. It looked like Collier had a run there. He had a moment where he could send the car alongside, but Britton just put the power down, trusted the car to take that final corner. Like you said, he went wide, just barely missed the exit there. I thought he was going to go around like Nick Green had, but he didn't. He held it, and he absolutely smashed that exit there. Yeah,
I really did think he was going to run that wide into the wall. Good evening, Noxie. How are you, buddy? Good evening for you. Well, you're in Australia, so I guess it is the evening. For us normal people that live on the proper side of the world, it's still afternoon. So there we go. Thank you very much, Noxie, for joining us. Hope you are well, bud. As we're waiting for Martin Hayward, then we will bring you up the results of the race number 1. Over the line he goes. So here are the results for race number 1. Now what you do is flip this completely on its head and you'll find out who's on pole for race number 2. Mark Carver is your winner. Thank you. Calvin Leideckers in 2nd and Andy Pratt in 3rd. Then Ian Nicholas Anderson in 4th. Jan Janchik in 5th. That's the Pro-Am 1-2. Valdis Vancivius in 6th. Hayden Britton, Kaysen Collier, great battle in the AMs. They've taken 7th and 8th overall. George Metakos rounds out the podium for the Pro-Ams. Roman Kopostarinsky in 10th, gets 3rd in the AMs. Then Garrett Kinney, Eric Orcham, Reese Bartlett, Joshy Taylor, Parker Enquist, Martin Hayward, Nick Green and Tom Weston round out the top 18. And Timmy Wybrow, if he takes to the grid, will be on the bottom. We've got a little bit of a warm-up. Race 1's got a little bit spicy. How's race 2 going to do with a full reverse?
I think it's going to be the same of the same, but this time around with Calver not sending it from the front to the lead, sending it from the back, somewhere in the mid-pack. I think he's going to have a good start. He had so last time around. The only caveat is that he doesn't have the hammer. He can't drop it. He's not the one to start the race. So he has to wait for the cars ahead. But once he sees the green, I think he's going to be one of the drivers to absolutely smash it. Small problem there. Leideckers is not behind him this time. He's ahead of him. So that's going to be an overtake to be had. Looking at the pace, I think Calver has the advantage, but it's still possible for Leideckers to just set up a defense so good, like Britton did in this last lap to Collier. I think it's possible to keep him behind, maybe all the way through even.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see how Collier gets on and see whether or not he can get, how far can he actually get. Just making a lap guide for the GNR League. Thought I'd tune in. Nice. I see Nick is concentrating on best starting position for race number 2. Well, unfortunately, he had a little bit of drama. He started sliding, then he went round as we just look at Garrett Kinney going to spin there as well. So, yeah, unfortunately, Garrett, not good in the warm-up. But what can we do? Not a lot at this moment in time. 1 minute on the clock.
It's called a warm-up for a reason, right? It's not warming up the drivers, it's warming up the tires. And he's appearing to be an expert at that one.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's it, unfortunately, for Garrett Kennedy. On and trucked it round. 48 seconds to go. I'm surprised there's so many people out on track, to be blatantly honest with you. I thought there might have just been people sat back chilling after race number 1, because I don't really, I sit and chill. I don't really do much in a warm-up. I do just sit and chill out and not really do anything. Then again, I can't even remember the last time I drove. I think I'd have to get the dust off my steering wheel. We've got about 27 seconds left here as well. If anybody's played NASCAR 25, please let me know whether it's any good, because I have thought about picking it up. But let me know if it's any good or not on that one. 15 seconds of warm-ups to go here, Olaf. These guys should be sat back chilling, shouldn't they?
I mean, it really depends on your preference. I think it's either there's 2 or 3, maybe 3 types of drivers. One of them is just chilling, like you said, just lay back between races, just having fun, just getting all the stress out, putting some music on, just getting a little bit relaxed. The second one is the driver that just wants to keep his hands and feet warm, not get out of the rhythm, because of course you have a 20-minute race, then a break, then another 20-minute race. It's going to be a lot different than when you have, for example, a 60-minute stint where you just got to be in the rhythm, and that warm-up is there to keep you in that rhythm. Then there's the third kind who kind of like just does whatever and doesn't really mind anything. And those are the drivers you can either see chilling or spin around on the track, do little funky things, and just a little bit of having fun.
Okay, well, Timmy Wybrow on pole if he does take to the start. Thomas Weston in second, and Nick Green gets third. Martin Hayward fourth. Parker Enquist fifth. Joshy Taylor in sixth. Then Reese Bartlett, Eric Orchin, Garrett Kinney, and Roman Kopostarinsky in ninth and 10th. George Metacost in 11th. From Casey Collier in 12th. Then we've got Hayden Britton in 13th. Valdez Vancivius in 14th. Jan Janchik in 15th. Ian Nicholas Anderson 16th. Andy Pratt 17th. Calvin Leideckers in 18th, and then Mark Calver at the back end of the grid. It's all on Thomas Weston. I didn't think Tim would take to the start. He has not taken to the start. It's all on Thomas Weston to kick this off, but surely this is his opportunity now to sort of get a win under his belt, maybe.
Yeah, he is looking in his mirrors and seeing Nick Green right behind him. That's the driver he is fighting for in the championship at the moment. Medicals in first, Weston in second, Nick Green in third for the Pro-Ams. Problem here is that Medicals is currently 11th. He's not going to be part of this until he makes his way through the grid, which may or may not happen. But Weston and Green currently fighting it out for P2 and 3 in the championship for the Pro-Ams. And I think this is the best chance that he has to just take it away from the start, take some notes from Calver. Maybe that's what he did in the meantime. Just talk to Calver, be like, hey, bro, can you maybe just help me out here? What did you do for the start? When did you drop it? And how did you make sure you got away that quickly? Because that's what I want to do to Nick Green. Nick Green cannot be anywhere near. But if he does, that's going to be a good battle for the podium spots in the championship for the Pro-Ams.
Yeah, well, let's see what goes on with these guys. How far down will they go? Will Weston, Green, Hayward and Enquist stay where they are? There's a lot of people that Mark Calver's got to try and get through. Andy Pratt, Leideckers, Anderson, Janchik, Vancivius, Collier, Britton. None of them are really slouches. How far can Collier get? Well, you're just about to find out in about a minute time, maybe here as well. Can he get to the front? Can Calver get through the whole field? Or are they just too quick up that front end?
I think it's going to be a question of not who's going to be quick on the front end. I think it's going to be quick on the rear end, because those are the fastest drivers, according to race number 1, that you have to pass on this track. Calver's going to be fighting with Pratt, fighting with Leideckers, 100%. Anderson, Janchik have, like you said, not been slouches. They're fast. Vancevicius as well. We've seen Britton and Collier, Medicals, Kopistrinsky from a few weeks ago as well, with some pretty rapid laps. Kinney isn't slow either. I don't think anyone in here is particularly slow. But I think it's just going to be more difficult as time goes on. And also the question is, Calver and Leidecker is going to be close on pace. Leideckers and Pratt were a little bit further off, meaning that Pratt was slower than Leideckers. Which means that Leideckers maybe has an easier chance of overtaking first, and then Calver is just going to be stuck behind Leideckers, and then maybe have to follow him through, and it's still going to be a one-on-one all the way towards the end of the race. But we'll see. We'll see what happens after turn number 1.
Well, Weston's already getting a little bit of a jump. When is he going to go? That will be the question. Pace cars, that's weird, goes into pit lane, didn't even take the pit lane, goes over the curb. And Weston, I believe, has already gone. He's already bolted here on that run down into turn number 1 now as well. He's got the gap over Nick Green that he really needs currently at this moment in time. 3 temps. Green's got Hayward crawling all alongside him at the moment. Hayward in that Golf livery machine on the left-hand side going into turn number 1. But it is Weston. Green's going to have something to think about. Parker Enquist is tucked in. Weston's taken the lead. He's done what he needs to do. Nick Green's managed to hold on. Hayward, Enquist, Britton, Taylor, Bartlett, all in that mix at the same time. Them two should, in theory now, Olaf, right? They should escape, shouldn't they? Olaf, I think we may have had a problem Olaf's just, unfortunately, PC's just closed itself down. So that's always good. That we've got Western and Green trying to escape away from each other here. Western's got to slow down. He's trying to get it off. He did manage to get it off there as well. Nick Green's now going to dive up the inside into the left right-hander at this moment in time. Case and Collier still down in 18th. Nick Green's gone round again. Hold it, Nick. Oh, he's got to funk the barrier. Nick Green has gone round. Off he goes. Wings are plenty for Nick Green. That does give Western a 2.3 second gap out in front at the moment in time. But as you can see, currently behind that, Enquist, Hayward, Bartlett, Garrett Kinney has got his own queue of cars. Mark Calvert up 12 places, sitting in 7th place at the moment. Calvert's making moves here. He's trying to go around the outside of Josh Taylor. He's going to sweep around the outside. Is he going to get the inside for Garrett Kinney? After we're not at the end of lap even 2 yet, and Calvert's up 13 places. Absolutely stunning job here as well from Mark Calvert as he's looking at moving forward. In the inside of Garrett Kinney, that's done as well. Kinney's out the way. Calvert 5th already. Calvin Leideckers, who finished 2nd in race number 1, is all the way down in 11th. He has not made the moves that Mark Calvert has. Calvert has got very, very aggressive indeed, and it's basically made his way up. He's going to get Garrett Kinney at the same time, I'm sure, but at the moment for Mark Calvert, he's cleared Kinney now. He's into 5th place, up 14 places. Stunning job from him at this moment in time, and it's a big, big move for Mark Calvert. Big run wide there for Reece Bartlett. He's going to allow him through. Everybody's just rolling over, allowing Mark Calvert through, and at the moment he's gained 15 places, and we're not even at the end of lap number 3 yet, ladies and gentlemen. That is absolutely mighty from Calvert. He's going to go up the inside of Hayward. That's another place already. He's now in 3rd. These guys are being absolutely walked over, taken to school, nick their lunchboxes, nick their trainers, because Mark Calvert is the racetrack bully at the moment. He is up 16 places. We're not at the end of lap 3, and he's sitting in 3rd place already. I believe Olaf's back with us now as well. Got a lot of PC issues there, dear sir. Welcome back.
Apologies for that one. I've just looked at the start. I saw how quick Weston was gone. I looked at my PC. My PC also saw that Weston was gone. My PC thought, what the hell is going on? And it just started to shut down. So Weston, thank you so much for making my PC crash. It just did not believe what was going on.
Yeah, Andy Pratt, this is what happened to Pratt there. Oh, that rough angle. Let's see if we can find out what goes on. Is there contact on the inside, or did he just lose it all on his own? They're fighting around. Oh, it's all on his own. Over the curb, unsettles it, but at this moment in time, a stunning run from Calvert. The timing screen's going to have a bit of a meltdown at the moment, because I'm not entirely sure why this is doing what it's doing, but at the moment, Parker Enquist sitting in 2nd. Weston is in 1st. I think that might have something to do with Andy Pratt jumping back and to the pit lane, but currently at the moment, there's a lot of moves. Calvert, as I said, 15 places. I think it's even 16 now, Olaf, and we're not even at the end of lap 3.
It's absolutely crazy. I've been gone for 2 minutes. I look back. Calvert's up to 3rd. Nick Green is out, so he's had an issue somewhere. And Calvert's just looking to take 2nd place off of Parker Enquist, who is an M, and should not be too much of a battle for him. He's currently off the line already. Calvert's just lining it up here to get close enough for the exit of the 2nd turn, maybe even take it in the S's. But like we just saw with Andy Pratt, side by side with the S's, I told you there was going to be contact. It might not have been contact between 2 cars, but just between the car and the curb and then sending him over the edge. But here it is. There's Calvert going through right before the S's, taking a little bit of too much of curb there, but is fully ahead before even entering the S's.
If I was Weston and I saw Calvert now in 2nd, I would run as fast as I possibly can. To be honest with you,
I would try and activate nitro or some sort in the tank. Something that I would just put on a spike track or something to slow him down, because I think that's the only thing that's going to stop Calvert at this point, and that's going to be cheating.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if there's any shortcuts that Weston can take. I'm pretty sure we're not playing Gran Turismo or any Need for Speed or anything where you can just duck up an alleyway and get back to the start line. But Weston's going to have to go, and he's got 2.6 seconds and 14 minutes. And at the moment, he's just done a 1:43.69. Calvert's just won a 42.04, so that's 1.65 seconds he's just pulled out on poor old Thomas Weston. Weston is going to feel like a rabbit or a gazelle being chased down by a lion here, because that is what he has coming. Reese Bartlett still managing to hold on to second place. Parker Enquiries still leading the AMs in third overall. Bartlett fifth overall. You can see Metacost, Anderson, Hayward has got he's got drama kicking off behind him. There's a lot of cars lined up here for poor old Martin Hayward. Kinney, Collier, Orchard, Britton, Koposterinski, and Pratt's not too far. Oh, it's contact on a straight. Oh no, don't do that.
I think we've made enough, said enough words about contact on the straight. I think we just refer to the other broadcasts and see what happens here.
Orchard and Britton.
That is Orchard inching over. That is not a place where Orchard should have touched the steering wheel at all. I get it, moving over to the right-hand side because it's a left-hander coming up, but we are side by side. If there's another car, you can't go anywhere. Just keep it straight. Like, you both have to dictate where the other car goes. You set the limit for how far the other car can go. If Britton is on the middle of the track, it's just telling Orchard, don't go here. You take further inside than that you want to take the inside. I am forcing you to do this. We are on a straight. You are not pushing me. And Orchard just moves over to the right and absolutely slams it into the wall. Takes both cars out. And unfortunate for Britton that he got the meatball flag and Orchard didn't. So that is a little bit weird.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's the iRacing physics. 1.1 seconds for Tom Weston. Oh, dearie me. At the moment in time, I would be literally needing changes of underwear. Garrett Kinney and Kason Collier. This is the Pro-Am AM. This AM should possibly go through. He's trying to chase down Bartlett. Obviously, Kinney and Reese do run a league together. So you can see Bartlett's probably sitting there going, no, don't let him through. You're my mate. And at the moment, Kason Collier can't get through, so that's fine. Hey, oh, God. Oh, blimey. What's going on here? Lots happening, and Andy Pratt's in the mix of it.
Yeah, there's so many battles going on. It's a complete offset from what we saw in the first race. The first race just had the AMs do all the effort and all the practice, all the fighting. And here you just see fighting all the way through the grid with Calfer being now within the second of Weston. Collier and Kinney still fighting. Here we have Pratt looking at Koposterinski, who's holding on to itself the inside for the right-hander. Yeah, there's a little bit of contact being pushed wide. That's going to be opening for Jančík, who's taken one, and now he's going to be taking two.
Koposterinski coming through that corner. Literally, oh, he's in the wall! Why are you in the wall on a straight? Again! Oh, Andy Pratt. He's in the wall. I better freeze on the software as well, which is never good. He has gone round there, Pratt, unfortunately. I'm going to have to give the timing software a bit of a kick here. It seems to have frozen. Bear with us, and we'll be right. Well, you carry on for a minute, Olaf.
I think I will carry on for a minute. I think crashing on a straight is never good. Doing it twice, I think, is even worse. It's happened 2 times in a race, not with the same cars, of course. There's these rules, right, in racing. Good moment to talk about the rules for a second, because there's no action on the screen at the moment. If there is a car that is alongside you, as much as the rules say that's allowed, you are allowed to just turn in, and the other car is supposed to back out. As soon as you're at or past that limit, you are supposed to respect each other. There is no quote-unquote racing line. I'm doing it with my hands in the air, but you can't see that, of course, because there's no camera here. But there's the quote-unquote racing line that suddenly doesn't exist anymore. There's the inside, there's the outside, there's the middle. The thing that matters is that you have to give each other space, and that's in corners. This happened on a straight, where it's the same type of thing, but then there's no inside-outside line. It's just drive in a straight line. Try it as much as you can. The driver on the right-hand side gets to determine how far the left driver gets to move over to the right. The same thing for the left side driver. The left driver on the left gets to determine how far the driver on the right gets to move over to the left. And if you just stay in a straight line, you're basically telling the other driver, don't come near me. This is as far as I'll allow you to go.
Absolutely.
So you do go over that, there's going to be contact, and then you're going to be sent over the edge, and you're going to be absolutely off.
Yeah, absolutely. I do fully agree with you. There's a bit of a drama going on in the software at the moment. You have to bear with us here. As I'm
I can
trying.
yap for a few moments more if you need me to.
He's just fighting with it. It doesn't want to kick in at the moment. It's being like, no, it's a Sunday. I'm going to chill and relax.
Well, maybe.
But at least we've still got pictures.
This is basically the type of experience that I've had as my PC crashed. I saw Weston run away with it, and then when I came back, Calver was in 4th. This is going to be the same type of thing. We can't see the standings, but I can imagine, and we're currently looking at Janšík on the front of the screen. I can only imagine that the moment of the live timing gets back on, we're going to see Collier be in 1st place. I think that is going to be the main thing. Do we have... I see the overlay. There it is. We have Calver in 1st. Weston just completed his slowdown, and that's 3.5 seconds for Calver out in 1st. Leidecker still in 2nd place. 5 seconds to gain for the next 8.5 minutes. But Calver absolutely gone. Maybe we can get a replay.
No, unfortunately not. Where the software killed itself, it has deleted all events that have taken place through the race so far. So, unfortunately...
All right, no replay.
No
so that means that we... The clean slate on the
only
events.
from now we can have them through. Okay, we can't get them from previously in the last 8 minutes. We can only get them now. But we've managed to get this back up and running. Bartlett and Collier still having a battle for 2nd and 3rd in the AMs. As you say, Mark Calver's out in front by 4.5 seconds. Absolutely run away with it as well. And we're going to see how he gets on here.
Yeah, it's all the gaps that we've seen before the software decided to shit the bed. All gaps have closed. Everything is just over a second. We can see Vancevic is in 5th, right behind Parker. Enquiries should not be too much of a fight. It's a pro right behind the Nam. That should be done and dusted within a few laps. And then further back, we see Bartlett in 9th, right behind Collier, which is still a fight in the class. It's going to be for P2 in the AMs, and that is going to be an interesting one. 1.5 seconds. Vancevic is now chasing down Parker Enquiries.
He's on the back end here as well, going into the final 7 minutes at the moment in time. Enquiries, Vancevic in there in 5th place. Anderson, Medicost, Weston still hanging on to 2nd overall. Great job from him, but he has got Calvin Leideckers coming at him. 3.7 seconds to go. Weston last time out 44.06, Leideckers 42.15. So although Weston has got that place, he could get closed in right because of the end. Nick Green quit out because he, well, I can't repeat it, but he didn't do very well with himself. Let's just put it this way. Vancevic in behind Enquist as they are the closest battle. We've lost Pratt, we lost Wybrow, we lost Green, and Joshy Taylor's just gone into pit lane, and I can show that one because it's happened within the last 7 minutes.
Yeah, so we're going to only imagine he's going to lose it right here.
Yeah.
Well, that's a little bit too far. And, ooh, that's a tank slapper and a half. Repeated 3 times into the wall. He's just decided to give up there and then on the driving. He's going to go back to the pits, maybe for some repairs. I doubt it's going to go too well. Britain is also 46 seconds behind Kinney. He's had a little off somewhere as well, as Kinney's got a yellow flag. The slowdown as Vancevic is now within a few tenths, and Leideckers has gained about 2.5 seconds in the past 3 minutes. There's Descend. Enquist a little bit too deep. Not in his class. Knows that is a battle lost from the start. And
I think that's...
continues driving in 5th.
Yeah, I think that's why Enquist let him through. He's got no battles in and around him, has he? The next he's got to deal with is Case and Collier. And at the moment, Case is 6.5 seconds just in the background there of Enquist. So Enquist really hasn't got to worry about it at the moment.
There is the point scoring system, which scores overall. It doesn't score per class. It's not that Calver and Weston are both going to get the same amount of points because they're first in class. No. Calver gets the most amount of points. Weston gets a point less, or a couple points less, I believe. Because the point scoring system is overall, which means that Enquist, being on position ahead of Anderson, is allowed to defend as hard as he wants to, within the rules, of course. I mean, I've just been yapping about the rules for a moment, but he can defend as long as it's within the rules, as long as it's within the legality of the rule set that's in this league. So he is allowed to defend and keep those points. But like you said, it's no use if you know that there are 2 classes ahead of you and just have the pace to overtake you like crazy. But Anderson's in the Pro-Ams. Enquist might just venture himself into a little bit of an affair here, with Anderson being right behind him. Maybe just trying to see how far can I defend and how long can I take a higher class drivers. You're keeping behind me. There's flashing there from Anderson indicating I want to go past. This is not your race. But in Enquist's defense, neither is this Anderson's. He just has Medicos 3 seconds behind him. And that might just be an issue, but Enquist is not letting him go.
No, but I kind of agree with Anderson. I don't really see the need for Enquiries to be doing this, because he doesn't want to bring that 6 seconds back from Collier, because he's already down to 4.6, and he only fought Anderson for a few corners, half a lap. And he's already down to 4.6 seconds now before he gets to, actually it's less than that now, it's down to 3 seconds between Parker Enquist and Casey Collier. It seemed nuts. I would agree with Anderson and be on the lights, hello Sunshine, not your fight, shift your bottom. You know what I mean? Because he's just losing time, and I get it. The points are overall, and I fully understand that. Don't get me wrong. But you've got to weigh up. Is fighting for them points more or less advantageous than winning your class overall?
With 20 minutes remaining, I would say, yes, James, you are completely right. I know exactly what you're talking about. You're absolutely right. There's no use fighting this if I know that my battle is not with these guys. It's 4 minutes. There's 2, maybe 3 laps remaining in this race. If I was Enquist, right? If I was in his seat, I would be doing everything in my power for the next few laps to keep everyone behind me. I don't care what they do behind me. If Anderson and Medicos were going to be fighting, sure, go ahead, fight all you want. But don't put me in this. I want to be defending as much as I can. I have once, I'm gonna repeat this. I'm happy about this one. I'm very, very proud of myself. I once kept the championship leader, mind you, me being somewhere down in P20 to 30. I once kept the championship leader behind me on Kyalami for about 7 or 8, maybe 9 laps. He was not in my fight at all, but I kept him behind me because I would score more points than him.
I'm gonna cut in. He made a mistake. He did a boo-boo. Collier's now alongside him. The time's gone. The time's gone. He made a mistake going in through the bottom right-hander, and now he's gone and lost it. There you go. It doesn't matter. It doesn't know how much defense Parker Enquist has got. He made a mistake, and unfortunately, he ran off the circuit. He cut half the chicane, I think, up through the S's, and it's all gone wrong for Parker Enquist on the final lap. Collier, or the couple of laps, I should say, from the end. Case and Collier's taken the lead of the AMs.
Yeah, that's definitely one part of defense is not making mistakes. You have to put your car on the right spaces. Enquist simply didn't at this moment, and yeah, he's lost the space. He has a chance, though. Collier is not too quick to catch up to Medicos completely just yet. The gaps are about equal. He is going through it a little bit more smoothly than Enquist is, and he actually is catching up a little tiny bit. So there is a chance for Collier to even overtake Medicos here and give Anderson some breathing room, because he has 3 seconds. I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem there for Anderson to take home the 2nd place at the Pro-Ams and 5th place overall, but it still might be some worth. Like, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Collier and Medicos are in the same fight that Medicos and Anderson and Enquist were before. Collier and Medicos are in different classes. But there's still the chance of Collier getting that position and gaining those points. The class names don't mean anything if the points are being scored overall. That's just what I'm trying to say here. Collier should do absolutely everything that he can to gain this position on Medicos, because that's just going to score him more points. And that is what he should be doing. And it looks like that is what he's doing at the moment. Yeah,
final lap here. Now as well, Mark Carver goes over the line. Final lap of the race. Cason Collier chasing down George Medicos. Enquist is not really staying with them unless there is some drama. Collier's trying to take him on the inside. Medicos has parked it on the apex. If Enquist was closer, he might have been able to take advantage of that one, and he didn't at the moment here as well. But now it's the final lap. Calver's got to slow down there, and well, it ain't going to make no difference. Calvin Leidecker's still in second. Weston still leading the Pro-Ams. Case and Collier still in behind Medicos. Enquist has got Jan Jančić tucked in behind him now as well. Somebody he didn't need. Weston's got to slow down. That's not going to make a difference because he's got Vancivius in behind him in 4th, a long way back. Case and Collier again involved in last lap drama.
Yeah, it's going to be close between these fights. 1 more lap to go, like you said. Going through the first chicane, we've seen some cuts there from Calver, from Weston, who both have served their slowdowns, putting their competition a little bit closer, but nowhere near enough for some points. Collier now within 2/10. Same for Jančić now, within 2/10 of Enquist. And Medicos looks to be defending a little bit better. That's Enquist and Jančić side by side. Jančić on the inside. Does he get him, though? That's the question. On the back, it looks like Enquist is a little bit further ahead just now, but still the inside line for Jančić, who seems to be slightly ahead going into the S's, but it's going to be side-by-side action.
Yeah, down into the SE section now they go as well. Mark Calver's coming over the line for the final time again in race number 2. Great victory for Mark. 2 out of 2 for him. Can't fault the guy. He's done an absolutely stunning job here. He's taken these all to education school on the way to drive. Calvin Lydeckers comes over the line. Tom Weston's going to wrap this up for the Pro-Ams here. He's going to come over the line in first place. Great win in class for him. Kaysen Collier is still tucked in behind George Medicos. I don't really feel he needs to do anything. He's given him a bit of a run. Can't make it through. Take the win in class, young man. That's what I would do for Kaysen Collier. And over the line he goes. Let's not forget the kid is only young. I think he's like 14 or something. Is he 13? I believe he is. With Reese Enquiries getting second and then Reese Bartlett rounding out third in the AMS. Great fight from them. Garrett Kinney and Martin Hayward having a battle over the final lap.
Yeah, and looking at the domination here from Calver. We just mentioned that Ashton was not going to be here tonight. Calver is going to be doing the debrief, and I think there's no one better to do so than this man who takes the double victory. There's still some fighting here side by side now over the final few corners. Kinney's trying to be close there, but Haywood's putting up a star of a defense here. They're both holding on to it to the final corner. That's going to be a nice little swoop there on the inside. That's the switchback. It's going to be enough, though. It's not. It's just barely enough. That would have been beautiful from Kinney for the final lap, the final corner. I saw the vision. It was there, but simply not enough.
No, he tried, he came, he saw, he was so close. Mark Calver takes a double win. Calvin Lydeckers takes a double second place. Tom Weston wraps up a win in class in the Pro-Am. Valdez Fantinius in 4th. Ian Nicholas Anderson and George Metakos round out the podium in the Pro-Ams. Kaysen Collier takes a win in the AMS there. Jan Janchik in 8th. Parker Inquiries second in the AMS. Reese Bartlett third in the AMS. Great job from them. Roman Kopper-Strinsky 11th overall with Eric Orchard, Martin Hayward, Garrett Kinney, Hayden Britton, Josh Taylor, Andy Pratt and Nick Green in behind them. And then we got Timothy Wybrow, who did not take to the start of the race. Great job from all of these guys as well. And let's find somebody we can have a bit of a chin wag to. Is there anybody you fancy chatting to?
I mean, we got to speak with Calver, right? I mean, he's the one leading the debrief. You've got to ask him, what is he going to show people, what he did, what others did? What's he going to go through? What's the thought process, and what kind of corners are we going to be seeing?
Well, there we go. Well, let's bring him in and ask Mark himself there, who was live in Discord. Sorry, Mark, but we need to talk to your son. How was it out there, mate? And tell me about the start on race number 2. Mark?
Sorry, you're talking to me. Sorry.
Yes, Mark.
Sorry, I'm just getting a drink. 2 seconds. Race 2. Yeah, I mean, I told everyone and myself to just try and keep it clean. Going down to turn 1, I just noticed that everyone kind of slowed down a lot, and it was like, I don't know, it was like everything just opened up for me. I didn't think I was overly aggressive. I just kind of went where everyone else left a gap, I guess. And I think after turn 1s and 2 and 3, I was maybe 9th position, 10th position, something like that.
Yeah, dude, it was like 14 places by the end of lap 2. Which was absolutely insane. You went and took the win in race number 1. I don't really feel as much to say about race number 1, apart from it was just fairly easy, wasn't it? You backed it up and you pulled it in and you went and did the win.
Yeah, I kind of said at the start I was going to wait till green. I wasn't going to go early, which I thought might have put me on the back foot, but I got a decent reaction. Like you say, after we kept it clean, sort of the first sector, just about not making any mistakes, really, just trying to get myself in a nice rhythm, and hope that Calvin didn't catch me, which he didn't. So, it was a nice race.
Well done there, bud, as well. Anyone you want to shout out, mate, before we let you go?
Obviously, the big man, Jack Ashton.
Who's
in his absence, I'm kind of not taking charge, but I'm now about to do the debrief of everyone, kind of go through what happened in the race, give my opinion, and hopefully make everyone better.
All right, mate. Well, take care, Mark, and we'll catch up with you soon.
Andrew, thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Well, there we go. I'll tell you what we'll do, guys. We'll let them get on with their debrief, because the longer I keep them, the longer that debrief's going to go on. And it is Sunday afternoon. So there we go. Final words from you, Olaf. What do you think going into the final round in 2 weeks' time?
I mean, it's open, isn't it? I mean, Ashton's not here. I mean, I think that's going to be his first drop round, which means that he's still in the fight for next week. Lydecker's having some good rounds here, 2 second places. Calver having 2 first places. I think with the drop round in place, it's anyone's guess who takes this. For the pros, for the pro-ams, and for the ams, I think with Medicals, Weston, in the green, of course, didn't get too many points today, but Weston and Medicals are definitely going to give each other a fight for the pro-am win. And in the ams, anything can happen. We just saw today lots of battles in the race 1, lots of battles in the race 2. Enquiries being in the top 5 for so long and in the top 10, and it's anyone's guess who takes it next week. Or the next round in 2 weeks.
Absolutely. Well, you got to tune in 2 weeks' time, ladies and gentlemen, because it is going to get spicy. I've been JP. I've been alongside Olaf, Wapsenkamp, and as always, take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.